This is what journalism, so I mean, immersive storytelling means, according to you, by keeping journalism concept in mind. The first thing and first and foremost important thing what we need to understand here is why storytelling is important. Is it the only way to narrate the story, or there are multiple ways to? In this 21st century era, there are a lot of people are voluntarily admitted themselves to the use of technology. The Gen Z people, Gen Alpha people, these people are like born with technology, so they are well versed in use of technology. But the previous generation people, for some people maybe it is new, for some people maybe they're adapted to that. But as far as this particular concept is concerned, without changing the original idea, the core idea, we need to convey the clear meaning to the people, and there should not be any misconception. There should not be any misunderstanding also when we try to communicate with our audience that way. So thank you so much for your responses. But the answer that I'm expecting from you is what makes the story interesting? What makes the story, uh, immersed that way? So if you ask this question to yourself, there are multiple answers you can find out. What are those multiple answers? Number one, is my story is convincing my audience? Is the story giving clarity to my audience? Is it presentation format is fine? The language what I've used is fine? Am I adding other elements of multimedia into the process to make it little more interesting? So these kind of aspects that we need to seriously think about it in terms of making the story interesting and make the audience involved in the process in that way. Now, let me just go back to the presentation and I'll show you uh, what is called virtual reality, what is called augmented reality, and what is called mixed reality. These three terms in immersive technology sector, people they use it wisely. In short, we call all these things or all these technologies are immersive technologies. Since we are from media and mass communication background, we call them as immersive media. Immersive media addresses all three things that way. So what is virtual reality? I have highlighted the important terms here that differentiates one from the other. This is the theoretical aspect of what is virtual reality, but I'll show you what exactly virtual reality is from my mobile phone. Let me just share my screen and I'll show you. You just read the text, what I've given here. VR creates a simulated world. Users experience it through a headset. So keep that in mind. In order to understand virtual reality, in order to get that feel, we need a headset. Without a headset, we cannot experience virtual reality. That is I mean, that is the reality that way. Come to the augmented reality. This is different from virtual reality. The augmented reality that combines the artificially created elements, computer generated models or whatever, along with the existing real world objects. It's called overlaying. I'll give you example of these things. Just I'm explaining it to you theoretically. Then what is mixed reality? This is another term people they use when people talk about immersive media or immersive technology. It's nothing but combination of virtual reality and augmented reality in that way. Fine. How do we know what is exactly virtual realities? How do I experience it? If you just closely observe, let me just share my screen. You can just see. I'll just stop here. You can just see my screen. Prashant sir, it's visible to all now.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay. Now I'm gonna show you how exactly virtual reality field will look like. So for that, if you closely observe that Google Cardboard, this is the application, free application. Google company created it. It's a very old headset via Google Cardboard kind of. Now let me just show you how exactly it looks like. See here. I hope you all can see that. There are two views. One is on the left side, the other one is on the right side. Like how we have two eyes, in the same way, we have two views, left view and right view. So when we load this content into the mobile VR headset, I'll show you how it will look like. So when we load this content into virtual reality headset, it will take you to the virtual world. What is virtual world? This scenario, the scene what you are seeing here, I'm just rotating my screen so you can just see the view over there. So this tree, the trees what you're seeing here is not real. It's a depiction of the real tree, but it is artificially created in that way. So as you see here, the entire view, sky, sun, sea, water, stones, birds, all kinds of things, the grass, everything is created artificially. So when you wear a VR headset, after loading the content, you will be isolated from the real world environment. It will take you to the imaginary world where people have created something. I hope you have understood what is virtual reality. Right. Now, let me just come back and show you this. I hope you all can see this.
Yes, sir.
Great. Can you tell me what is that? What you can see from this illustration? This is a boring two-dimensional illustration where you can see a small toy, I mean, baby is trying to play with football or something. You can see here, right? So in what way I can consider the illustration like this, a hand-drawn or maybe printed illustration to make it more interesting? I want to use the technology to teach students about maybe a small process, playing game, a kid playing game. If you want to make a lion dancing, I want to show them the realistic way how a lion will dance in that way. In realistic manner, a lion won't dance, but in artificial intelligence enabled, software or tools, anything is possible in this world. Now let me just show you how do we make it more interesting. This particular two-dimensional figure. This will help you to understand what is what is augmented reality. Previous case, what I showed you was virtual reality. Now what I'm showing you is augmented reality.
Audio. Kannan sir, you're not audible, sir.
Prashant sir, is
Yeah,
it
it's
audible
better
now?
now. Yeah, now you're audible. Yeah.
Is
Sir,
it
actually,
audible now?
last 30, 40 seconds, you were not audible, sir.
Prashant sir, can you unmute the other account?
1 minute, sir.
I
One
can
minute.
hear you clearly. But can you
Yeah,
unmute? Can you unmute the other account?
yeah. We are giving you option to unmute, sir. Yes.
Okay, you can just see here. Let me just.
Kannan, sir, the screen is not visible and you're not audible.
I don't know whether it is visible or not. I've opened the content. Is it visible to you? This is the application that I was talking about. Prashant sir, can you unmute my other account? Okay, so when I just scan this, you can see
Sir, your audio is not playing actually.
Can you unmute? Can you unmute my other account, ma'am?
Sure, sir.
Now you can hear me, right? Let me just load it again quickly without wasting time. Yeah. So this is the application that I was talking about. Once it is open, then you can see that oh, the page will be scanned, and you can see because of internet issues, it's not loading properly. You can see the difference, right? Along with the existing objects around us, you can see the computer generated objects animated also in that way. See here. So this is how it creates. Now, let me just take you to that page. Yes. Now, when we talk about mixed reality part, mixed reality is the next level of uh, you know sharing the content with users. When we talk about audience in mass communication or in mass media, there are a lot of people, the heterogeneity would be there. Am I correct? But here, as far as immersive media or immersive journalism is concerned, we are focusing only on giving personalized user experience to the people who are using the VR headsets that way. So if you take it into consideration, how much money that the government of India uh, has invested so far, the graph that clearly indicates. Am I still connected with you? Is that PPT visible to you?
No, sir. We can hear you, but PPT no.
Signal issues. Is it visible now at least?
Not yet, sir.
Just in sharing. Is it visible now? Yeah, I think it's visible now.
Yes, sir. Visible now.
Yes. So if you check the details, what I've given here in the chart, how much money that government of India is investing on different sectors. Primarily, we give importance to health sector first. But as far as AR and VR is concerned, the emphasis should be given to educational sector because a lot of change is required starting from the grassroots level. Since I was working in CIET, Central Institute of Education Technology, a constituent unit of NCERT, I know I was part of some projects, e-content development projects, as well as AR and VR development projects as well. So last year itself, I'm talking about only the last year, last financial year only, Government of India spent 450 crores of money for e-content development. So NCRT is taking up responsibility of producing e-content for various group of people, variety of people, starting from school level to up to college level students. We are taking care of it in that way. Starting from producing, small e-content for the textbook of class one. If you take a poem, can be converted into a e-content in that way. So how can we incorporate immersive technologies, AR or VR, whatever, for the school textbook content? For that, let me just show you one important, interesting thing. How do we make a story interactive? For that, let me just introduce this tool for you. I hope you all uh, can use it simultaneously. Yeah. Uh, So what I'll do, let me just take you to this CoSpaces website where you can experiment your creative ideas that can be incorporated with virtual reality technology or augmented reality technology in that way. So this is a kind of, it's a very interesting, what is called tool that can be used by anyone. You need not to know about coding, complex coding. If you have an idea, clear idea, this is what I want. This is how my story should begin. This is how my story should end. Those kind of ideas, if you have clearly framed in mind, that itself is enough. Let me just give you a basic idea about post spaces edu. This post spaces edu, reason why it is very interesting, because it's a kind of one stop place. You don't have to use separate application for VR. You don't have to use separate application for AR. Everything can be integrated here. That way, everything is integrated, so you can use this one uh, particular tool. So for demonstration purpose, I've just opened it. And if you want to create one, like how we are creating a Gmail account in the same way, you can also create one account. It's free. Basic version is free. You can use it. Here interestingly, you can share this with students as well. So the collaborative work is possible. If student really wants to uh, share, ideas group wise, each group is working on different topic, that can be easily done using this particular option. Let me just click spaces. This is where we can create content in that way. So let me just open it. Now what you see here is a kind of virtual place. To create a 3D kind of environment using, if it is a conventional practices, we need a dedicated animator, dedicated modeler to create everything in 3D. And then a texturing artist is required to apply texture to different objects that we create. And then for animation, we need an animator. And finally, we can integrate with any application or anywhere that way. But everything is simplified now. Even a non-coder can use this particular option to make use of that way. So let me just show you. This is a kind of template that I've chosen that way called environment. So if you just click home, you will get one like this. Let me just start a new post page and then I'll take you to the next one. So these are all the different templates they've given over here. According to your requirement, you can choose the one accordingly. So if you want to conduct a quiz kind of thing, you can just do that. Or if you want to tell a story, a small story, using very few characters with using very few objects, this is the best one. That way. So let me just show you this empty workspace where you can see empty playground. If you just see it, except camera, nothing is there. This is the virtual camera. Now, if you just go here, library, you can see a lot of virtual characters given over there, right? Whether your script needs characters, human characters, or animals, or objects, non-living objects, whatever you feel like your script needs, you can just take it from here and use it there. Say, for example, I want to take this boy and keep it here. And if you want to increase the size of the character, you can click it and drag it. For demonstration purpose, I'm showing it to you, right? Then I want to rotate the character. So I can click this and rotate the character like this. Now the next character I want to take from the animals category. Maybe you can take this deer. This. I want to again increase the size of that. So let me just take this and increase the size of this. Yes. Now this is a very basic 3D kind of interface that each one should learn. Reason why? Because this is very user friendly and anyone can easily complete the task. Now there are two characters. One is animal character, the other one is virtual human character. Now I want to add some buildings or something like that. So what I can do, I can just go and choose some objects. These are all the household items that we can think about it. Now go to that environment. I want to change the environment, whether forest environment or cityscape, likewise. So go here, click edit. You can choose the right one accordingly. The previous one, I used this particular landscape. So if you want cityscape kind of thing, you can just click it. So everything will be changed accordingly. Look at this. Just to create this, how much time, the modeler has to spend time to do that, or animator has to animate, means how much time that he or she has to spend. Everything is simplified here. These are all presets. Now, this is the main character, main characters. Now I want to have an interaction with these two characters, likewise. So in that way, what I can do, I can just go and take some, maybe trees or something. Okay, and I'll just duplicate it by pressing Alt button. I'll just keep it like that. Yes. So this is a very basic landscape that I've created it in that way. Now, how do we make it interactive? The most important thing is the engagement. Engagement comes through the basic interaction. Example. So I'm talking to you. I do not get any response. I do not know whether you are following me or not. So if any interaction happens between the communicator, the sender and the receiver, then obviously the communication will be very effective. In the same way, when we are dealing as teachers, when we are dealing with the kids, so what kids need better clarity. So how do we ensure better clarity? By giving meaningful content to them. Okay, meaningful content I've created, but it is informative but not interesting. So how do we make it interesting? So we need to find the connection between characters. You can make it very funny, you can make it very serious. The choice is up to you. But the intended message is I want to communicate this core idea using these two characters and using the virtual environment over there. Psychology is how interdisciplinary aspect if we see, or multidisciplinary aspect if we see, how psychologists can make use of this. If we see how much money that we have spent, the government of India spent on health aspects, incorporated with immersive technologies here and here, keep that in mind. So when user see this particular concept, user will not forget the concept easily. That is the speciality of immersiveness. Reason why? Personalized adaptive learning. We try to give personalized experience to user, so user will not get any chance of deviation, because we are taking the user to the imaginary world. Whatever the user is seeing, in the virtual world, they are directly interacting with them. So they do not think about what others are doing that time because of the immersiveness. So this we have to keep in mind. So these two characters are okay, but I want to make them walk. I want to make them talk. I want to make them interact with each other, kind of thing. So how do we do that? For that, what they have done brilliantly is they have beautifully added some interesting concepts over here. Say, for example, I want to give interaction to this particular character. Double click it. You can see the animation part. So what kind of animation can be given to that? Clap. Okay. Now clap will happen if we play button. See here, the person is clapping. How long he'll be clapping? Why he is clapping? No idea. Just for a demonstration purpose, I've showed you this. But when someone is responding for reaction purpose, if he is clapping, that will make sense, right? And this animal is just being static. So I want to give some motion to it. So what kind of motion I can give? If you just double click it, you can see the animation part. Maybe this can eat, or maybe this can run, or maybe this can walk. Okay, I'll make it walk. But if you see closely, he is clapping and the deer is walking in the same place, like the treadmill kind of effect it is giving. But what we have to do, we have to give some commands to those characters to perform such actions. How do we do that? As I've told you already, you don't need a Python, or you don't need a Java, you don't need a Visual Basic scripting knowledge. But what is needed? What you have to learn here is called visual scripting. For that, they've enabled this option called co-blocks. Co-blocks. So before you use it, you need to ensure that for which character or which animal, which object you want to apply code. So go here, click code, enable this. Right? Now, if you enable this, it will show name. So this is the casual boy. I want to write this as runner. So this is for my reference. So the indication will be there. So this may be there, may let it be like that. So I want to enable that code block and show name. So this also will be visible, right? Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just double click here, go code, enabled it. Now I'm going here. Now I'm going here, code blocks. What you see here is the coding area. It may be confusing for you, but it's a very, very easy method to apply some interesting actions to the characters or objects, whatever you use it in the virtual space, right? Let me just show you how do we give that action. So when play clicked, play means this button. When play clicked, what action should perform? Now go to transform, move their mail to how much distance that you want the animal to move. You want that to happen. So go click it here. So this comes under graphical user interface, GUI. You don't need of writing script, if loop, then all kinds of things are not required. But if you know what action should be performed, all these things are given here in the visual form, So you click, drag it and put it here in the right place. So background coding will be generated by the software. You don't have to worry about anything. So this process is called visual scripting. That way. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there are two characters. Two characters I've created. One is Pranav and another one is Dearme. There are two names over here. Which one you want to assign this action? This male. Okay. Uh, Maybe I can ask this animal to move around 3 meters forward or left, right, up, down. Where exactly? If it is a ball, bouncing ball kind of thing, up, down makes sense. So living beings, we move left and right kind of things. If you are taking steps, then of course up down makes sense that way. Or otherwise forward motion, left or right, that makes sense. Now this 3 meters, how much time that deer should take to cover this? In 1 second it should go, or 5 seconds. Slow walk means 10 seconds. So I can just make it 10, 1, 0, right? Now let me just play, see the difference. Before that, the action part I forgot to mention. Hmm. This I need to mention. Animation needs to be applied, right? So set animation, dear male. What animation? We need to walk. Now just play, go. If you just click it, then action will perform in that way. Say, for example, let me just show you this. And what I did was I created a very small story. This home, I've taken it from there. These two characters, grandpa character, one dog, one car, cycle, then two swans, three swans in that way, two white and one black. So what I did was I'm gonna show you how exactly you can interact with the characters in that. One character can interact with others. So let me just show you this one, and then you tell me the story, whether you understood or not. Now let me just play this. Now I'm clicking this grandpa character. You can see the grandpa's name. I'm clicking it. So action, I'm triggering it. So when I click that action, what action should perform? I've already determined it. So I clicked it. Is it visible? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I just click this particular character to respond. Where she's going? She's going somewhere. Why they're dancing? We need to just follow up with the question asked by the grandpa and the instruction given by the grandpa. Now they've got it. So what is happening here? What kind of story that we can convey to people? Now let me just show you this story. How do we present it to people? If you want to make any other changes in that, just go here click code. See, these are all the visual scripting that I've done to make this happen. Hardly it takes, initially you may be wondering, it's very complex to understand, it's very difficult to practice. But you believe me or not, this is a very, very interesting tool. They're giving it for free, the basic version. But that is more than enough to uh, have the basic interactions, actions and reactions part to convey a simple story. So since we are from journalism and mass communication media, if a person is explaining how DSLR camera works, if a person wants to communicate to people how exactly people can make use of uh, what's called AI technology in journalism field, whether it is ethical or not, a social experiment. A discussion is happening, but not in real, virtual. So how do I assign roles and responsibilities to the virtual characters? If you closely observe that, like how I'm telling you a story in the same way, if you read it, you will also can understand that. When play clicked, when this play button clicked, what action should perform? When grandpa clicked, turn grandpa clockwise by 105 degrees in 3 seconds. To turn this side, I have given time like 3. I can change that to 1 also if I want to. Now come to the next one. Okay, he turned it. What action should happen next? He has to walk. He already turned 105 degrees. Now he's walking. Walking where? Forward direction. How long distance? The distance? 4 meters. He is covering 4 meters in 5 seconds. Now come to the animation part. Once he reaches here, set animation grandpa to talk excited. He is excitedly talking something. Now the animation goes to the next one. He's just kneel down. He's putting the kneel down. Then come to the next one. After he is putting the kneel down, grandpa is saying, "Dear children," what is the text I've given here? If you closely read it, "Dear children, listen to the mysterious story." This text should appear for 2 seconds. Then come to the next one. He is giving additional input. That means the clue, the task for the kids to complete. This should appear for 8 seconds. So people, whoever is seeing it, they should understand what grandpa is saying. So it should sustain for maybe 8 to 10 seconds in that way. So I've given time like that. So once grandpa communicated something, then students' responses. What are the responses? He's thinking, okay, what can be done? How do we execute this plan? Who is thinking all these things? Boy and girl. So if you closely observe that, there is a sequence. The same thing what you saw here, the same thing is given here in the form of scripting, but it is visual. That is the reason we call it as visual scripting that way. Now let me just play again. Now you can see the difference over here. Now grandpa is there. I clicked it. Grandpa turned little bit fast compared to the previous one. Grandpa is walking. I'm not doing anything because I've already given comment. Now, dear children, listen to my mysterious story. Now he is giving all these things. That time also I've given here, right? So once the communication is done, now they're thinking what can be done. Boy is thinking, and then now girl is thinking. So once the thinking process is done, they started discussing. So if we have voice, separate voice for this boy, separate voice for this girl, separate voice for this grandpa, we can assign to that and we'll make it even more interesting. Everything needs time, patience also. So if you have clear idea in mind of if we are interested in doing, such creative projects, the user engagement is 100% guaranteed. If you are taking up these lessons to classrooms, the strategy will be different. The same strategy cannot be applied to all subjects, but wherever there is a possibility of incorporating the storytelling pedagogy into process, you can just add it. Andragogy into process, you can add it that way. Now he is responding it. Whatever question he shared, yes, I'm interested. Me too. Then girl started taking initiative to go and find out the treasure. So I've assigned the path also. So in this online session, it's very difficult for me, and also I'm facing some internet issues. So I cannot explain it to you how do we make a project like this kind of thing. If it is offline session, definitely we can have an interactive session as well as hands-on session as well. So this will help you to communicate the story in a better way. Now, let me just show you how do we see it at the end. So if you just go here, you can see the share link option. You can share the QR code of that. Whoever is scanning it, they can just do it. Or otherwise, if you have WhatsApp, just share the link by copying it and share it with them. So whoever is scanning it, it will take them to your workspace where characters are there, where you have given commands, different verbal and non-verbal commands. Everything will be seen. Shall we try once? Okay, let me just scan it. Let me just show you this. Now it is taking me to the place where I have embedded characters, dialogues, music, voice, everything. So when you play it, you can see the option here at the bottom. You can see, right? The bottom of the page, bottom right. So if you click that option, you can see three options: view in VR, view in AR. So what is view in VR? What is view in AR? If you have VR headset, I'll show you the headset. If you have VR headset, you can just wear the VR headset and start consuming the content what you have created. So that will give complete immersion to the user that way. But I don't have VR headset, but I want to see the content. In there, augmented reality will help you to consume the content. So click it in VR, automatically the view will turn like this. So if you put your VR headset, sorry, if you put this mobile after loading the content into mobile VR headset, you will get that exact feel that way. Understood? Now come back here. Now the second option, view in AR. So when you click view in AR, you can just see the option. You can scan it. Where exactly the stable area, like a plain surface is there. So there are different types of augmented reality. One is marker based, second is marker less. So marker based means the I showed you know the QR code like this one. This is marker based. The second one is markerless. There is no QR code, nothing is there, but you scan it and then you apply over there. So how do we just practice it? Say for example, let me just show you whether you can just repeat it here. Okay. You can see here, right? You can see the computer, keyboard, everything, but this may not give you better result. You have to keep the right place, a good table or relevant objects are there in the background means that will make more sense. So here there are three characters, 1, 2, and 3. So when I click grandpa, when I click grandpa, grandpa turns and he is coming towards the kids. Now he is giving verbal commands. See here, now he is giving verbal commands. After that, students' responses, kids' response. So this is called augmented reality experience. So depends on your concept. You can think about what is best for you. Are you all with me? There are some examples also whoever already created on different various topics. If you want, for reference purpose, if you want to just go and explore that, you can just explore it. But that is not our idea, original idea, someone else's idea. So what we can do, we can borrow some ideas or techniques from them, and then we can include into our project by changing it, not in the same way. This takes a lot of time to load. Okay, let me just stop sharing it. And then let me just give you one more realistic experience of sharing another important information. That is called power of presence. Now, the most important thing why immersive technologies are very important nowadays, because in journalism, there is no scope for empathy in general context. I'm just telling you. Because whoever is saying, if you see a news reader is reading news, if it is a natural disaster happened, right? If it is a natural disaster happened and news reader is reading out the news, the way the news reader is presenting the data, if you closely observe it, whether empathetically the news reader is presenting or in a plain manner, surface level information he or she is presenting in a flat manner. So if you closely observe it, whoever is seeing, listening to that news story or seeing it on screen from the television, they may not get that exact vibe of that victim when he or she was facing that issue in the field. But as far as immersive journalism is concerned, we are giving the first-hand experience to the user as if the user is there in that incident and facing all these issues, kind of scenario we can create it. That is the unique difference between the conventional journalism and the immersive journalism. And one more important thing I would like to tell you is a common mistake most of us we do. We see technology from only the technological point of view. So gadget will not make wonders. Technology cannot do anything by itself. We have to do everything from our side. Technology will assist us or help us that way. Now, just tell me the power of presence, empathy, enhanced empathy. I'll just show you one important information about the documentary made by foreigners with the help of Indian government. Have you gone through this project before? It's a VR documentary project. Let me just play this. Just tell me audio is listen. I mean, audio is clear or not.
Clear, sir.
By the way, this is available on YouTube. I'll show you where exactly you can just go through that because this is a very interesting documentary. Indian, what is called the problems that we are facing. That they documented it and they found solution also in one of the fields in journalism called solution journalism. Journalists are not only a part of reflecting the problems of the society, they are looking for the solution as well. So if you're a journalist, if you are teaching journalism, you try to incorporate solution journalism also into the process where you, as a journalist, you are dealing with a lot of factual data, but only factual data will not create change. We have to present it in such a way that they understand the essence of the problem, the seriousness of the problem. For that case, virtual reality, particularly 360-degree virtual reality content will be very, very useful for you. How technology works. See. Anyway. There also it's not working.
Sir, you may share the link in the
I
chat
will
room.
definitely share. I will share, but I'll show you where exactly you can access to that.
Correct,
The
correct,
more
sir.
and most important thing here is the icon that you see here on the top left corner. This shows that this video is 360-degree virtual reality, not a normal flat video kind of thing. But as I told you already, this should not be seen only from the technology point of view or technical point of view. We have to look for the content, what kind of impact that it is creating that way. Say, for example, let me just show you. If you type it, it will take you to this place. Is it working? So if you just type within VR here, it will take you to this page where you can see the logo of the within database. Uh, they have made a lot of interesting 360-degree documentaries for journalism practitioners in that way. So if you click it, it will take you to the within official page where you can see lot of documentaries, VR documentaries. I've shortlisted these two documentaries for this session because we need to talk about the problems that we are facing, right? In that way, this particular documentary, this particular documentary called Hidden, that talks about, let me just play this thing, play. Maybe I'll reduce the quality. Hmm. The text what you're seeing here is International Justice Mission is an international non-governmental organization. They are tied up with the government of India and they've made a project. What project? A VR documentary project. They have identified a place in Tamil Nadu and then they went and they did a kind of raid. Generally, if vigilance department people or any department, CBI, if they are doing a raid, how will they do it in a general context? They won't inform anyone and then go on raid immediately, right? Quickly. Otherwise, the other people will get alert in that. But here, they've articulated all these ideas creatively, brilliantly, and they've executed their plan accordingly. You won't believe me. If you read the text given over here, you will come to know. Just for $150, one entire family worked as a bonded laborer for 10 years. How difficult it is, how tragic it is, how pathetic it is, the situation. Nobody documented it. No Indian media documented it. Here and there, we read some articles from the newspaper. But, the immersive journalism create wonders in such a way that if we do it in the right way, if we present the ideas, document ideas and present it to the right people, definitely change will come. I can give you one more example. The outcome of this particular mission, International Justice Mission, collaborated with the Government of India, and they've investigated a lot, and finally they've released a lot of bonded laborers from that particular place. That is the success of this particular mission. So foreigner came from abroad and entered into India, studied about the problems and made a documentary out of it, and then we found solution. Why can't we do it by ourselves? So as far as immersive journalism, the area is concerned, Very few content creators are there. Very few content creators are there. If you say that playground is empty, if you want to make use of the opportunity according to your area of interest, you can do it. If you want to play football, you can play. If you want to play cricket, you can play hockey, you can play. Likewise, the playground is empty. Very few content creators are there, and most of the times, if you see, I don't know whether you have observed or not in the slide I mentioned how much money government of India spent for entertainment sector, gaming particularly. So VR, PS5 is there to play virtual reality games. Since we are from academia, we need to make use of this technology into the educational purposes. So this VR documentary is a very interesting and informative what is called project. If you see here, when you see this using VR headset, you are sitting or standing next to this person and observing or feeling or empathizing the problem what they are facing in that way. And it is not a joke that tradition by tradition, a lot of families in that particular generation are working under one person for $150 debt what they received from them long several years back. It is not a joke. So when nobody is talking about that, you will be the first person to investigate it. Proper investigation is required. That is another drawback of this particular field, immersive journalism. Not many identified or recognized mainstream medias are not part of this. So the content what you are sharing with them may not be uh, taken it rightly that way. Okay. Now the another important thing I would like to tell you that this is the another project called Clouds Over Sidra. The reason why I'm showing you these two projects because these two stand out separately compared to other projects. The author, I mean, the director of this particular movie called Chris Milk, he made this film by carefully investigating uh, the migrants of Syria and Jordan. What kind of struggles that people are facing, starting from a kid to an old age people. What are the struggles that they are facing? When mainstream media fail to document that, they have taken it as a challenge and they have documented it and they have found solution also. That's why I said solution journalism is a very important thing nowadays. What kind of solution? A 12-year-old character is the central idea of this particular movie. And they made this film. Because of this film, they found solution for around 85,000 people who are facing issues in the border, Syria-Jordan border. Don't you think it's very informative and interesting too? But one drawback here is I cannot show this to a million people at a time. They will not understand anything. So in order to get that feel, that immersiveness, that empathy, they need to see this content, consume this content using reality headsets that way. Now come to this part. VR documentaries, empathy is amplified. Yes, it is amplified, but it is not artificially amplified. It is naturally amplified. So empathy factor, I've done some researches also in this regard, and the results also represent the same thing. When students try to see a social experiment from the television, they don't take it seriously. When they see accidents happen, somewhere on the roadside, they just see, okay, accident, fine. They just take things like that, just like that, and go because these are very common, usual for them. But as far as immersive journalism is concerned category, and if you do that, definitely you can make use of technology to make them understand clearly. There won't be any deviation. There won't be any what is called scope for misinterpretation or misunderstanding or something, because you are not telling them anything. They see everything by themselves. They understand everything based on what they see, what they hear, what they feel. So that is why I said it's a first-hand information. When AR for interactive news, you might have experienced, augmented reality in newsrooms. There are some of the examples that I can tell you. I can show you some examples. Internet is not working fine, but I can just give you all the video links and other, materials, so you can just go through that later. Now, AR for interactive news. What kind of interaction will happen in that way? Interactive maps, first of all. We all know that GPS works well. GPS to in Google Maps to go to one place to another place. But what about VPS? What is VPS? Google had taken up this project and tried to simplify the GPS process, the navigation process, irrespective of different language speaking people. They can use this application anywhere in the world, and they can just identify what is what kind of details. I'll show you, and you'll understand better. What is visual positioning system? Is audio playing, sir?
So audio is not out.
But it is available on YouTube. I'll just share it with you. If
Sure,
I
sure.
just again share, stop sharing and open it, it takes time. Okay, now I'll just share this. Share sound I've already enabled. Okay, let me just play it again. Is it playing audio? Is it audible, sir? Now?
No, sir. No, sir.
It's okay. Forget about it. This video, if you just closely observe it, the augmented reality, how brilliantly they have incorporated into it. I showed you an augmented reality example last time at the beginning of the session. Here, if you take your mobile phone out, whether you're in Japan or Netherlands or India, anywhere, you can just open up this application and see the environment, just scan it. It will take everything, whatever the nearby areas, and it will give you interactive experience. Say, for example, if you're looking for a pub, I want to know where exactly the pub is. If you want to know where exactly the printing press is, so it will show you visually where to go, how to go, and what are the nearby areas in that particular location, everything. So GPS is a kind of outdated information, and VPS is a kind of new information. So here, augmented reality is carefully integrated with that by Google. That way. Now come to this part: 360-degree opportunities and challenges. Here in mass media, if we take print, we call people who are consuming news from newspaper called readers, news readers, right? If you take television medium, broadcast media, TV, if you take, we call the audiences viewers, right? The same way, if you take radio, we call them as listeners. But here, how do we address audience? I have highlighted it here. If you see, we cannot technically showcase our VR project or AR project publicly to million people because of the limitation. But it has power to do something better than other media platforms. As I've told you already, if your content is ready, if your idea is ready, If you beautifully articulate all your ideas with the help of technology, you using AI, VR, AI, whatever. If you articulate all these ideas carefully for the right purpose, for the right audience, definitely it will reach out to them. No doubt about it. But how do we address them? We can address them as users because they are using it. Example, I can just show you the mobile virtual reality headset. You can just see here. The mobile virtual reality headset comes like this. There are two lenses over here to see the content, and you can hold your mobile phone inside it. So after loading the content, VR content, you can just put your mobile phone inside and start consuming it like this. So this will give highly personalized experience to the user. So when I'm wearing the content, when I'm using the virtual reality headset, when I'm consuming the content, I am not uh, 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 what is called physically connected with other people because my entire focus will be on what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing in that way, right? But this is a mobile virtual reality headset. Now come to the next one. This is a Oculus Quest headset. This comes with the controller like this. So this will give you highly interactive experience, user experience. So how do we do that? How do we use that? Say, for example, if are, if you're an artist, how do I showcase all my works? I did a lot of paintings, pencil sketches, but how do we give a very good experience to user when they see it? You might have attended some art exhibitions and all, but in what way virtual reality can do some wonders for the people who are good in drawing, painting, and all kinds of artworks in that way. Even if you're a good graphic designer, you can articulate some of your graphic design works according to the medium's characteristics, and you can have a virtual exhibition that is possible. So conducting a virtual exhibition, you can conduct a competition among students also after training them. These are the things are new trends in journalism field. No other people can do that because they don't know how to do it. But if we learn how to create a virtual exhibition using the tools available in the market, free or paid, whatever, that way. So technology can do wonders, but we need to know how to make use of it that way. But this virtual reality headset has both pros and cons, as you see here. The challenges that you are facing in this particular slide, right inside, the technical complexity. This is a very fancy, sophisticated headset, delicate headset, but I don't know how to use it. So proper training is required to start using virtual reality headset. Then we can prepare content or consume content in that way. Second, limited narrative control. So I cannot make virtual characters, 500 virtual characters in my particular story. It is difficult. It is possible, but it is difficult. So if 500 people are there and very few people have that dialogue saying something, so how do we handle this complex phenomenon? It's very difficult. Who is saying what? We need to focus very clearly. Then only we'll understand. These are the major limitations of this particular medium. Third one is health related motion sickness. We can still avoid it, but by doing small activities before start using VR headsets, but nobody practices it. So if you do basic exercises beforehand, definitely we can avoid means we can reduce motion sickness in that way. Motion sickness means, say, for example, roller coaster example. This is the one basic one they just considered. The roller coaster. After loading it, they just wear the VR headset and then start seeing it. The motion sickness, the problem comes because of the mismatch happens between what we are saying and what physically we are doing. So I'm idle. I'm just sitting here simply. I'm sitting here simply. But after loading the content, if I watch something, my mind, what signal my eyes are sending to my brain? Okay, I'm sitting in the roller coaster chair. I'm just going down. I'm going up. It's a kind of very challenging. It's very surprising and it's very interesting, adventurous, all kinds of experience. My mind is processing it. But my body, physically, there is no movement, there is no change. Because of the mismatch between the physical and mental process, we give that motion sickness. Mind is very difficult to process it. How do we deal with that? There is a sudden change. Body is not moving, but eyes observe that it is sending a signal that you are moving. Because of that mismatch, motion sickness is happening. It You'll be all right after some time, but initially most of the people will be facing that issue. But we can think about avoiding such contents. For many people, for entertainment purpose, they see it. Now come to this, the ethical consideration. Most of the people are talking about technology, nobody is talking about ethics part. How can I be an ethical journalist when I deal with immersive journalism topic? As I've told you already, maintaining journalistic integrity is a challenge, because if you take broadcast media, there are so many news channels are there. One news channel gives a different perspective, other news channels give a completely different perspective as far as news content is concerned. So maintaining integrity is challenging. And if you are taking virtual reality as a field to communicate something, journalistic view, if you are presenting a content, you will be giving a different perspective. So multiple perspectives may lead audience to get confused. This is a main challenge that we are facing it here. There is no commonality because it's very subjective. What I perceive, what I understand, I'll write something and present it to you. How other people are presenting it, perceiving it in the same way they're presenting it. That is the reason why different news channels are presenting news in a different way. Come to the misleading part. Since you are giving direct information to the people, very challenging, a task for make the audience to be misguided. In your narration, you're talking about one particular character who is part of that incident in a different way. That means you're fine tuning their mind. You're orienting them. Oh, you have to see like this. See, this is what he is doing it. You can see by yourself. You are there on the field. When you are watching the content through VR headset, the narrator is telling you to follow according to the instructions given to you. So there are chances that uh, for giving a misleading content as well. So if you want to be an ethical, do proper investigation, do proper research based on the factual data. You can formulate your idea and make use of the technology to present your idea brilliantly and effectively that way. As I told you already, since you are involved in journalism, practicing journalism, you will be making a lot of attempts or efforts to present story effectively to your people. But you try this technology once and you will see the difference later that way. The consent part, as you all know, no journalists, photojournalists are asking permission when they are clicking pictures on the field before they click the picture. Next day, when you see the photograph, oh, I'm part of this visual, but they did not ask me permission before they click the picture, because I'm there in the visual kind of thing. Likewise, the ethics is very subjective, and most of the people they ignore it. And where to follow ethics, where not to follow ethics, it's a dicey area. So we can have a debate on it. That way. The privacy also matters, because whatever I'm putting it here, who is controlling it? Nobody knows. Say, for example, this is Oculus. Oculus means now Meta, a Facebook owned company. So I'm sharing all my content through Facebook, through Meta database. If I want to delete, I can delete, but still my metadata will be there somewhere. So the privacy part is always subject to question when we deal with any third party applications or companies or organizations in that way. So these are the gray areas, because China, they have come up with their own applications, starting from WhatsApp to search engine to all other things. But now they need not to worry about privacy concerns because all these things are circulating internally within the country because they have their own servers. But here in India, the case is different. That is the reason why they banned TikTok, by the way. Now, what are the tools and resources that we can use it to create virtual reality experiences? Unreal or Unity, very popular professional search, professional game engines that people use it in the industry that way. So when I joined CIET, I created one augmented reality and one virtual reality application by my own to give demonstration to joint director over there. So likewise, many small project, if you start doing it over the period of time, you will be an expert in this field. Practice makes a man perfect. Likewise, so everything needs a push. Everything needs a kind of drive or motivation. Then only we can just proceed further that way. The next A-frame is another tool. It's an open source tool. Anyone can use it, but the user friendliness is a subjective question because the user interface is not great. This is my personal opinion, but not like Unity and Unreal Engine experience. If you want to get it, you may not get it from A-frame kind of tool. Spark AR is relatively better. Spark AR is connected with the Snapchat. So if you want to integrate any face mask or anything, tattoo or whatever, animal face, whatever you want to add it or anything, make modification, make changes. If you want to give that kind of augmented reality experiences, you can use Spark AR that way. Come to that. The future of journalism is there in your hands as teachers, journalism practitioners. What kind of stories that we want to present it without changing the original idea? This to be highlighted. We are not authorized to change the original idea, but the technology we are taking is that taking it as advantage. This we are trying to give impactful experience to the user. So user can see that pain of the victim. So this will give them that, okay, if I'm in that particular situation, what would be my response? How will I feel it? How will I take it? What would be my reaction to that particular situation? So these kind of thought-provoking ideas can be generated with the help of technology by carefully articulating ideas accordingly. As a journalism practitioners and teachers, it's our responsibility to do that. Then come to the engaging content part. Take newspaper, read it. Is it engaging you? No. Take switch on the television channel, switch on any not any all India radio station, switch on the news, listen to that, or just see the TV news content. Is it engaging you? No. Why it is not engaging you? Because you are not involved in the process completely. You are not engaged completely. We are just getting a surface level information. What is what? I got it. That's enough for me. But this will not give complete information about it. The present generation youngsters, they are giving a lot of importance to get to know just what is what kind of information. When I was conducting interviews for students admission, I asked, why we all generally ask this question, what about your newspaper reading habit? Do you read newspapers regularly? Do you watch news programs regularly? Genuinely, some students will say, no, sir, I don't have the habit of watching television news, but I get news from social media. But what kind of news information social media is giving? How much quality information you are getting it? What about your engagement and involvement in terms of consuming news stories from social media? I'm not engaged. I'm not involved, but I'll just get some information about it. That's enough for me. So if we are creating that culture, what would be the future of journalism? What kind of journalism practitioners are we going to create it in future? So this question that we need to ask to students, what is your ambition? Whether you want to just inculcate journalism ideas, the principles, values in mind, then you want to become a journalist, or just to earn money or just to get that identity, you want to become a journalist. So If you do not engage your content, whatever amazing content that you prepare, whatever amazing gadget that you use, it is of no use. So we need to keep that in mind. What kind of activities we can ask students to do that? Number one, brainstorm your ideas using Miro applications, or you can just think about using mm, this mural. I can just show you this. It's a very interesting application. I want you all to see this. Prashant sir, how much time do you have?
Sir, you may continue, sir. You may continue, sir.
I'll just show you a few more things and then
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll just okay. This one. I personally use Miro application for brainstorming ideas, but if you Mind Mister also can be used. But this mural, it gives you a lot of additional information about articulating your ideas. This can be given as a group projects to students. You give one story, how the story can be extended further. We are not modifying it. We are not changing the core idea. If you are a long form journalism, say for example, you are giving them a case study, giving them a scenario, and you ask them to analyze it and go for maybe one page writing, or maybe 3 column or 4 column story. So if that is the case, how will they develop ideas? What kind of things that they need to consider when they are articulating ideas, where they can document it? So those kind of things that they can you put it here with the help of the tools available online. They can be anywhere in the world, but they can join together virtually online and they can complete the task. And if you want them to have the kind of a debate or discussion during class hours, you prepare your content accordingly, topics accordingly, and you ask them to fill information here. Here they can give non-verbal cues also, icons also, emojis also. When someone is articulating ideas, or what kind of feel, that emotions, that expressions they want to embed with that, that also can be added here. So this is another interesting tool that I wanted you to get to know that. Then this one, as you all know, the Miro application. This is another interesting application. I generally use this one for my classes that way. So if you haven't used this before, please note it down and start using it. It's very, very user friendly. So you can, for journalism particularly, video production, audio production, even if you want to develop a game, more small mobile game or whatever, the idea is important. The ideation process is the first and foremost important step that comes under pre-production. So you can make use of these technologies, these tools and software to articulate your ideas. Finally, you can choose the media placement. What is that media placement? Whether you want to use VR or AR or MR. So what is that MR? I don't understand. So if you want to see, you can begin with a 360-degree basic storytelling process. Say, for example, this needs a dedicated device called 360-degree virtual reality camera. So let me just show this to you. Uh, you'll understand better. So this is the camera, very basic camera, 360-degree camera. You can see both sides. You can see lenses over there. In the picture, what you are seeing here, the picture is the camera is slanted. No, this one, this one. This one is Insta 360-degree camera, very popular brand actually. The cost also is very high, expensive. There's a very basic virtual reality 360-degree camera. You can uh, buy it one time purchase only. If your institution purchases this, you can make a lot of interesting projects. Because when I was working there at Christ University, I proposed a new paper called Immersive Journalism. So where I taught students about how to come up with interesting projects like interactive virtual tours, interactive virtual art exhibitions, interactive virtual reality documentaries, interactive virtual short stories. So while this, I mean, world is wide open to explore a lot of things, but we should be technically ready. Everything can be done if you are interested. I don't know anything about it. I don't know about ABCD of these things, but I'm interested in it. That trigger is enough. So if you do that, definitely you can make use of that. And the documentary I showed you, the hidden and clouds over Sidra, made with a camera like this, not this, similar to that, a professional camera. This is a very basic entry level camera. The one that they have used is a professional GoPro camera. That. So in what way my journalism students can make use of this technology? This is the best example. A case study, 360-degree video for storytelling that way. So how this can be done? Wildlife photography, people who are specializing it can make use of this 360-degree video technology. The output will be really, really amazing. As I've told you already, I cannot book a room. I cannot take picture of my projects and show it to them. It is not possible as far as VR technology or 360-degree technology is concerned. But virtual exhibition is possible. Virtual tour is possible. Virtual documentary is possible. Now Facebook, now YouTube, they are giving a lot of opportunities to upload 360-degree contents for free. Create content, create your own YouTube channel, upload it there as part of your department or management or individual. You can do that. No one can question you. But more and most important thing here is the engagement part. Uploading is fine, but who's going to watch it? I thought of showing you that viewership also for this hidden project and the close over Sidra project. 4 years before, 4 or 5 years back, that International Justice Mission people came down to India and they've investigated it and they made a documentary. In the year 2009, if I'm right. This is 2025. How many views that particular project has got it? A small, video that people still not visible. I'm just showing you that PPT. This project. So we need to think about, why there are so many people are watching small reels. Million views we are getting it. But VR documentary is new and very informative, interesting also. But why it got very less views? The limitation of the medium. The reels, you can just scroll it and see from the flat screen. But this 360-degree video storytelling process, if you want engagement from your audience, from your users, then definitely they need to consume content using virtual reality headset. Then the feel is something different. These are the challenges that people in immersive media, they're facing it. The news report using augmented reality. I don't know whether it will play or not. Let me just try this. This was made by one of the news organizations during COVID. They try to engage with their audience by giving how coronavirus will look like. They would have shown a picture of that, the microscopic view of the virus. They would have shown it, but they did not do it. They used augmented reality technology. They brought that technology into the newsroom. So these are all the changes that are slowly coming up in the Indian news media. So, like as I've told you already, what kind of impact it creates, this will lead to the research aspect. How many people have done research? How many people created content for different news media platforms? How people they perceived it. So perceptual study can be done, impact studies can be done. So we need to see all these things from ontological point of view, epistemological point of view. other philosophical, ethical point of view, say, for example. So all philosophical point of views, if not all, at least some, we need to just connect it with the technology. That is why I said technology should not be seen merely as technology anymore. Now come to this. This is done by a Kerala news organization. Audio is not playing. Just forget about the audio. Just see the visual. This particular project helped the news organization to improve their ERP. Not because of the technology used, it, the way how they've presented it, the narrative structure they've used it here. Everything all together gave that positive vibe to the people when they saw it. I just came through it. I'll share the links with Prashant sir so you'll understand better. So this is a two-dimensional flat view that we get it. We just see it from the television screen. So we are used to see that. But these kind of contents, it is new and it creates a kind of curiosity for the listeners to, sorry, viewers to get to know the subject better that way. Then, in what way that virtual reality subject will help me to do a better research? I don't have money to buy a fancy gadget, but I'm interested to do a research. So what you can do, the Google Cardboard kind of basic headset, this kind of this you can just buy. This costs around 500 rupees to 700 rupees in that way. The basic one, the very basic one, if you want to try out by spending around 300 rupees, you will get it. But if you just check out in Amazon, it will give you a different price range. But there are some other ways to purchase the virtual reality headsets. Many of us, we don't know the platform. The platform called Deodap, you can just download it. All prior products, most of the products, I think they import from China. Yeah, we don't have any other choice. They import it from China and they're giving it in the very cheap price. So if you want to try out, I cannot invest more money on buying a virtual reality headset, basic one, mobile enabled virtual reality headset. By spending around 350 rupees, definitely you can buy one. But you may not get the exact quality of what you are getting it here in this way. Lens matters. If you are giving 350 rupees to buy a virtual reality headset, you will get one. But very small duration content, you can just consume it, you cannot use for a long time. Those kind of challenges are there. Interactive documentaries, those kind of things that you can make use of. Then Geeta ma'am explained you how creatively, beautifully we can handle data and present it to our audience. In the same way, data visualization in immersive environment also matters. Example, if you have time, can I give one small demo? Prashant sir?
Sure,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope this will help you to understand better. I'll take you to virtual environment. Let me just show you. I'll share my screen. Uh, the other screen. Okay, let me just connect my virtual reality headset. Yeah, I hope now you can see. Once again, still loading. Yeah. Now I'm taking you to the virtual space where you can see the virtual environment. Is it visible to you all? Now you can see my hands. Is it visible to you all?
Yes.
Visible, sir. Visible.
Okay. Now you are in my virtual space. Left hand side you can see. Oh, I'm very proud. Yeah, see. Now the most important thing here is I'll take you to the place where you can make use of the virtual reality applications for entertainment purpose, for educational purpose, for research purpose in that way. So if you want to practice, what is called the basic exercises, but in a different way. So playing games, generally what kids do, they show interest in playing games, but here we have to give importance to gamification part. So by playing games, what is the outcome of that? So how do we, what is the outcome of the playing particular game in that way? So say for example, this is Beat Saber is a very basic entertainment application. People can see it. Is it loading? Ah, okay. So there's a warning people they give, read it. If it is offline session, then I can give you a kind of what is called hands-on experience, and you're not able to see me now, but you have to see me when I'm doing it. Just see how interesting it is, and we should not be seen as a what is called. You're seeing it right
No, sir.
now. The cubes are coming very faster. But tell me, what is the outcome of this? I'm playing a game, but this should not be seen as a game. Now tell me, how do we see it in a different way from journalism point of view? Yes, I stop here. Tell me, what did I do? Uh, hello?
Yes, sir. You're loud and clear, sir.
They do have access to speak,
So they have access to chat.
but I'm wearing VR headset. I'm not able to see the text
I
anyway.
understand. I understand. I understand.
But if you just see the actual gaming process, Beat Saber became very popular after they launched it. Reason why it became very popular, there are so many other entertainment applications are there in the market, but they are leading in the market. Reason why? Because they did careful research, R&D. And how do we see this content? Playing game should not be seen as just playing game. The physical activity involved in the process that helps us to reduce cholesterol. Because you are playing game without realizing that my body parts are moving, my physical action is happening in my body, I'm burning calories, right? So the other aspect here is how they've creatively added music into it. When music changes accordingly, the number of cubes are coming, no, colors are coming, no, that also will change. So when our body physical action is tuned towards the music, our mind gets more energy to play actively. You won't believe me if you go to a gym and take a dumbbell or whatever gym equipments are there and use it for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, how much sweat you will come, how much energy you will lose. The same thing you will get it in just 10 minutes. It's a very good, interesting research area that people can think about it. But how many people have done it before? We need to find out. If anyone has done already, if any areas left out, if any new dimensions can be incorporated into that, you can find out that and you can fill the gap. So in that way, this game will turn to a gamification part. So how, say, for example, um, non-office going people. I don't want to stereotype gender, but if you're not working and if you feel like I'm idle, I'm not doing anything, but because of that, my body weight is getting increased. So if you have this technology, you can just practice everything at home and see the result. It's a kind of experimental study. You need not to believe the research results. But if you just practice it for maybe 1 month, we cannot see the obvious change, but 3 months or 6 months, a particular time period, definitely some changes you can observe it. Every day we have a smartwatch to see the calorie burnt and all kinds of data. uh, if you just calculate everything, everyday basis, definitely change can be observed that way.